Jelly Roll, the beloved country rap crooner who has taken the music world by storm with his raw, heartfelt lyrics and gritty authenticity, recently received an outpouring of unexpected, very personal love from the most important woman in his life, his wife, the ever-bold and unapologetically wild Bunny XO. The moment? It happened right there in the middle of a roaring sports arena, where all eyes were supposed to be on the game. But they definitely weren't, not for a moment. It all unfolded inside Nashville's iconic Bridgestone Arena, the official home turf of the NHL's Nashville Predators. This isn't just any arena for Jelly Roll, it's sacred ground. A place where Southern pride, hockey spirit, and homegrown legends meet under stadium lights. But this night, it wasn't a slap shot or hat trick that made jaws drop. It was Bunny's spontaneous, risque, yet unmistakably affectionate gesture that set the place ablaze. She was standing close to the glass boards that line the rink, that critical space where fans can get as close as possible to the action and to the players. As her husband skated by, gearing up for whatever ceremonial or celebratory moment brought him to the ice that day, Bunny was right there waiting for him. She wasn't there to be a wallflower. That's not her style. She came ready to make a memory, not just for Jelly Roll, but for herself, for the fans, and maybe even for social media. As the crowd buzzed and cameras panned around, she found her moment. She called out, her voice cutting through the air, demanding her husband's attention in a way that only someone who knows you down to your core could do. He turned. He smiled. Maybe he thought she was going to blow him a kiss, wave, or give him one of those cheeky looks she's known for. But then, with zero hesitation and 100% commitment, Bunny did something most wives probably wouldn't do. She lifted her hockey jersey and flashed her breasts through the glass, aiming the moment squarely at her stunned and delighted husband. There, with the ice cold beneath his feet and a sea of seats around them, Jelly Roll broke into laughter. He didn't just smile, he cracked up, the kind of pure, deep, contagious laughter that says, "That's my girl." You could see his face light up, like this was better than any award show, standing ovation, or radio chart success. It was intimate, unexpected, chaotic, and beautiful, a gesture that on the surface was bold and funny, but underneath carried the very essence of who they are as a couple. Wildly in love, fiercely loyal, and never apologizing for how they show it. And of course, because Bunny knows how to turn a moment into a full-blown viral event, she didn't stop there. She set the scene with the perfect soundtrack, Wheeler Walker Jr.'s provocative and hilarious hit, "Drop 'Em Out." For anyone unfamiliar, the lyrics are as straightforward as the title implies. It's a song devoted to celebrating female anatomy with humorous country twang charm. By pairing her spontaneous flash with that track, Bunny leaned all the way into the comedic, raunchy spirit of the moment. It was her saying, "Yeah, I did that, and I had a damn good time doing it." Now, in a world where the internet can be both a place of celebration and relentless criticism, Bunny knew not everyone would be clapping. She preemptively addressed the inevitable storm of finger-wagging, pearl-clutching comments from online spectators, those people often referred to as Karens, for their tendency to shame others from behind a screen. Her caption was defiant and laced with pride. She made it clear that her actions were not up for debate. Her man loved it. Her man was proud. And that's the only validation she needed. She didn't just post a flash video. She posted a love letter in action. A message to the world, and especially to the judgmental, self-righteous corners of social media, that she's not trying to fit into anyone's box. She and Jelly Roll have long existed outside the traditional lines of celebrity expectations. They didn't rise to fame by playing nice or blending in. They climbed, fell, clawed, loved, healed, and found each other amidst the madness. And now they live their truth unapologetically, with their imperfections, passion, and personalities fully on display. It's important to understand that this moment wasn't about vulgarity or shock value. It wasn't just about breasts or bodies or viral views. It was about intimacy, in public, yes, but rooted in real love. The kind of love that comes from knowing each other completely and never being afraid to be playful, messy, outrageous, or deeply vulnerable. The kind that turns even the cold confines of a hockey rink into a theater of connection. There's also something deeply refreshing about seeing this kind of public affection between a married couple, especially in a world where long-term relationships in the spotlight so often fizzle out under pressure, betrayal, or boredom. Instead, Bunny and Jelly Roll continue to show that their bond is alive, still crazy, still full of laughter, and still sexy as hell. And let's not forget who these two people are behind the fame. Jelly Roll, born Jason DeFord, has been incredibly open about his dark past, a life filled with addiction, incarceration, trauma, and recovery. He's a man who once didn't believe he was worthy of love, let alone worthy of the success and adoration he's experiencing now. His lyrics often read like pages from a diary written during the hardest nights of his life, filled with regret, redemption, and longing. That's what makes his music so powerful, and that's also what makes his relationship with Bunny so profound. Because when you find someone who sees you fully, broken pieces and all, and still chooses you every day, that's magic. And when that person doesn't just support your journey, but dances alongside you in your joy, that's love in its most unfiltered form. Bunny XO isn't just a sidekick in Jelly Roll's story either. She's a force of her own, a podcaster, an entrepreneur, a fierce advocate for women embracing their power and their past. She's talked openly about her own struggles, her history, her choices, and her belief in growth. Together, they're not some manicured couple pretending to be perfect. They're wild and flawed, and that's exactly why people connect with them. They are the couple who has survived the fire and walked out stronger. The exact date of the Yay video remains uncertain. It could have been taken during Jelly Roll's special night in March, when the Predators honored him with a custom bobblehead. A huge deal, especially for a hometown hero. It's entirely possible this moment of flashing fun happened right before the crowds filled in, or maybe on another occasion altogether when Bunny was just feeling extra proud of her man. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The energy of the moment is timeless. Some might reduce it to a publicity stunt or an act of immaturity, but to do so would be to miss the point entirely. This was a private joke made public, a secret smile, shared in front of strangers. A chaotic, perfectly them moment that will be remembered far longer than most rehearsed red carpet appearances or filtered Instagram couple photos. Because real connection, wild, hilarious, body-positive, rebellious love always leaves a bigger impact than curated perfection. And let's be honest, isn't there something incredibly wholesome about a husband getting so overjoyed? To see his wife act like his #1 fan? To see a woman beam with pride, not from behind him but beside him, lifting him up, not just in words, but in wild, memorable action? That's not dysfunction. That's not desperation. That's joy. That's freedom. That's the celebration of a marriage where both people are seen, cherished, and still completely turned on by each other. In a world that often takes itself too seriously, maybe what we all need is a little more of what Jelly Roll and Bunny XO have. That spark, that shared sense of fun, that ride-or-die energy that refuses to be watered down for the sake of appearances. Love, after all, isn't always tidy. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it flashes, sometimes it laughs too hard and forgets the rules. But when it's real, it glows, just like Bunny did, standing there at the edge of the rink, lifting her shirt with zero shame and infinite love, just to make her man smile.